Robert.
Yo, what's shaking, AC?
Hey, what's been going on? What have you been doing in the last few days since we last ranted?
Well, Control V is now closed, government mandated. So I've been taking a lot of showers because that's where my best ideas come from. And I have a lot of fun in there singing all these songs that I love to sing.
Right, and last time you shared with everybody that watches these lovely rant videos that you have the Bruski shower mix, and I know Red Boswell reached out to you on LinkedIn asking where he could get a hold of that, and I think you shared it. So if anybody is interested, go find our rant from that we posted on I think Monday, and there'd be a link in there to Bruski's shower mix.
Absolutely. It's a blast. It's a blast. I won't share any of the songs with you because you just need to be in the zone. You need to be in the
Okay,
zone
okay.
to
We'll save
appreciate
that. Save that for a surprise when I try to use that in my next shower.
them.
All right. So, cutting right cutting to the chase, or I was going to say, cutting down to business. Cutting down to business. That's the new expression I'm using these days. I was thinking it might be cool. We've both attended various masterminds and webinars and things, and I've hosted a couple myself. Hearing a lot of really unique ideas. Let's get into that a little bit in this rant. There's some obvious things out there, but let's talk about some of the more unique ideas. So I know that you've got one that you'd mentioned to me earlier. Everybody's talking about communication is key, really, with your franchisees. Like, make sure that you are checking in with them, and you can't really over communicate in this situation. They're looking for information. And you mentioned something that you did that I thought was pretty cool. Maybe you could share.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? I've been getting a ton of emails from everyone. Like, this is the time when you realize which places actually have you on their email list. Like, everyone is emailing. I'm like, how do you? I must have signed up for something, you know? And every
8
email
years
starts
ago.
with, yeah. They all start with, these are unprecedented times. I'm like, okay, I get it. What's the point? And the point is always like, we're here for you, etc. So I got really concerned that if we send something like this if we only send something like this out to our franchisees, it'll get lost in the mix. So you know what? I just flipped open my phone, flipped it open because I'm still in the flip phone
I was
phase.
just going to say, do you actually have a flip phone
No, but
or a
that's funny
BlackBerry?
because we talk about filming videos, right?
Right, with the film that you put in them in your iPhone.
Anyways, I unlocked my phone and I just sent all of my franchisees a text message, and whoever replied, right? Just saying, how you doing? You want to talk, whatever. Just because I feel like all I've been getting is emails. So a text message was just sort of something a little different.
A little different. And I think if a company were further along and needed to do that, they could break it up between the corporate team. They could break it up and have like everybody take 10 franchisees or whatever, right? And reach out. But I
Yeah.
think that direct communication is really cool. Something that I'm finding a lot of value in, having hosted a couple of roundtables and things, is roundtables. Opportunity for people. I know a lot of people are hosting webinars, and that's great. But one of my clients today actually hosted with me helping facilitate, so that was exciting, a roundtable for everybody on the front line. So the franchisees, employees attended as well. And it's I think what came out of that, and people need to remember, is that we don't need to just stop operations. Like, we need to keep our clients, like the franchisees need to keep the clients engaged, their employees engaged, their prospects engaged. And so it was kind of cool to help these frontline team members figure out ways. And I mean, you could even do this at Control V, where you would have franchisees could be doing things in their local community on the Zoom level, right?
Yeah, it sometimes gets tough because as a franchisor, you're always focused about your franchisees, and you forget about your franchisees' staff and your franchisees' customers. And especially in a time when you have to close your business and you may be tight on cash and cutting costs everywhere to survive who knows how long, you don't know, like, hey, listen, I love to send everyone a chocolate bar, right? Like a Mars bar or Reese's Pieces or one of those 4 packs of Twix or something. But depending on the size of your system, it's not feasible. So doing something like that to involve the customers or involve your franchisees, staff, maybe even doing it on behalf of the franchisees so they don't feel so, I don't know what to tell them. Like, I'm just going to tell them what you tell me to tell them. Maybe it opens up the channels of communication and compassion between each other.
Yeah, I think that's fantastic. That's a great point. And that's how it was today, was that the franchisor is running it directly. The franchisees and their team members could participate together, and the franchisees didn't have to be responsible for this. And one thing that was really interesting that came out of this one that I was involved in today is that what the franchisor thought was probably the roadblock that we should be talking about wasn't actually the roadblock. So we got on the call at the beginning, and it was
Okay.
like, we suspect this is a problem. So if it is, let's talk about it. If not, let's talk about and right away people were like, no, that people have been, the problem that she thought was getting people to transition from in-person appointments to Zoom, like the clients. And
Yep.
that hasn't been an issue. So it was more around, how do we deal with people that aren't calling us back, and other things. So that's how important it is to ask and get your front line. My dad always said that with M&M, like, the people on the front line have all the information.
Yeah, they do.
So I think
And they interact with your customers too, right?
yeah, and why not keep your employees engaged so that when we get through this, they're still connected, they're still loyal, except for maybe if you don't like if your franchisees don't like the employees, maybe you don't invite them.
Yeah.
Let
Okay.
them go.
Okay.
Yeah. What do you think? What do you think about when it comes to how you can support your franchisees with their budgeting and with all these changes, and everything's changing now, right?
I think right now is one of the most important times to do a profit and loss analysis. At Control V, all of our franchisees have a standing offer from me to do a P&L analysis. And in most cases, it would be like, okay, let's look at trends in revenue, trends in expenses, how we can, cut costs or build revenue or fatten margins, etc. But right now, if you're in a business that has to close, you've got to basically eliminate all the revenue and shrink down your costs as far as possible. So you're no longer normalizing to see the health of your business. Your business is closed. You're trying to figure out what you need to stay afloat until it all blows over, and how you can reallocate funds.
And as a franchisor, you have the value of being able to see into all the different franchisees' business and share that information across the system, right?
Yeah,
If
that's
they let
important.
you. I mean, that's if they take you up on that, which they'd be smart to, and then you can leverage that collective, information.
Mm. Well, even if they don't take you up on it, as a franchisor, you may learn something from doing a P&L analysis for one franchisee that you can then apply to another one, or
Right.
use as a consideration.
Exactly. Yeah. So that's the beauty of being in a franchise and having a franchise
Uh,
network. Um, all right. I know you talk a lot about thinking ahead. What's on your mind for, how to think about when we get whatever beyond this means.
Yeah. Um, I really love, like, personally myself, taking advantage of like empty time. I'm a workaholic. I'm always awake and I'm always doing stuff. I can't just sit there, right? So if there's nothing for me to do, I try to find something to do. So in this case, when you don't have a storefront that you have to operate, this is a great opportunity to refocus things. I like to. There's a quote out there. I think it's by Timber Hawkeye, maybe. I don't know. This stuff I find on the internet, but they say, or he or she says, "Don't try to calm the. You can't calm the storm, so stop trying. Calm yourself, and the storm will pass." So I can't do anything about what's happening. All I can do is reallocate my time in preparation for when it passes, and what I can do so that when it does pass, I can hit the ground running instead of being behind the eight ball and then start preparing.
So take the time to prepare for when it passes, and figure out what you're going to do when you reopen, right? And
Yeah,
maybe how you're going to market that and everything. So
exactly, for sure.
awesome. Well, those are some fantastic tips. And on that note, I think it's time to get you back to work.
With a beer. That's what I'm
Right.
at. In the shower.
In the shower
with a Twix, with a Twix chocolate bar.
right. And a whole chicken, maybe too.
A whole chicken. Oh my God, where are these things coming from?
Exactly. Or maybe possibly previous rants or something like
I
that.
guess so,
Anyway,
yeah.
get back to work. Go be awesome.
Shall we?